CS 8088 and the subject is wireless advanced sensor. We see the challenges of wireless sensor network. So introduction. So miniature sensor devices, sensor networks, low power, low cost, it's multifunctional. A sensor network that can provide access to information anytime, anywhere by collecting, processing, analyzing and disseminating. Sensor network promise to revolutionize sensing in a wide range of application domains. Reliability, accuracy, flexibility, cost effectiveness. Its cost is less in ease of deployment compared to wire. Sensor networks. What are the capabilities of sensor networks? Information gathering, information processing, reliable monitoring of a variety of environments, both civil. Bluetooth devices are unsuitable for sensor network applications because of their energy requirements and expected higher cost than sensor nodes. A denser infrastructure would lead to a more effective sensor network. It can provide higher accuracy and has a larger aggregate amount of. If not properly managed, a denser network can intelligence for signal processing and also lead to a larger number of collisions and potentially to congestion in the network. It increases latency, reduces sensor networks. Extending the lifetime of the sensor network is a challenge. Building an intelligent data collection system, sensors are very prone to failures. The sensor network topology changes very frequently. So since it operates with radio frequency, then the wireless network operates with radio frequency, then the topology can be changed very frequently. The sensors use a broadcast communication paradigm, whereas most networks are based on point-to-point communications. The sensors are very limited in power, computation capabilities, and memory. Sensors may not have global identification because of the large amount of overhead. Sensors are densely deployed in large numbers. Their problems can be viewed in terms of collision and congestion. To avoid collisions, the sensors that are in transmission range of each other should not transmit simultaneously. Ad hoc deployment requires the system identifies and copes with the resulting distribution and connectivity. The dynamic environmental condition requires the system to adapt over time to change connectivity and system. Hierarchical sensor network will be having so many number of levels. So see the diagram. So you'll be having a parent node. So it's like a tree structure hierarchy. Will be having the topmost node, that's the parent node. Then it can have cluster heads, and the cluster heads can have any number of child nodes. Then this is sensed objects is represented in the form of red color rectangle. So the headquarters you'll be having a parent, so it's a parent. So in the under it you'll be having commanders. In the military application you will be having a hierarchy, commander, after that general. The least one is soldier. Operator. Advanced sensor network is a collection of sensor nodes forming a temporary network without the aid of any central administration or support services. There is no stationary infrastructure such as the base station. Sensor nodes uses radio frequency, wireless radio frequency transceivers. Transceivers is nothing but the transmitter as well as the receiver combined in a single component at their network interface NIC card. So they communicate with each other using multi-hop wireless nodes. So each sensor node in the network acts as a router, forwarding the packets. It will do the packet forwarding to the neighbors. It must deal with frequent changes in the topologies. The sensor network nodes are prone to failure. So new sensor nodes may join the network to compensate the failed nodes or to maximize the area of interest. So self-organizing network and routing protocols that can efficiently find data. So how it operates? How would the operation takes place in wireless advanced network? So what is in a cluster? So the tiny sensor to coordinate among themselves to achieve a large sensing task in less power consumption. So each cluster is assigned a cluster head to manage its sensor. Advantages of this is clustering allows sensor to efficiently coordinate their local interaction in order to achieve global goals, scalability, improved robustness, more efficient resource utilization, lower energy consumption, and robust link or node failure and network partitions. So see the diagram art of the sensor network architecture. Yes, we'll be having the physical layer, services layer, will be having physical layer as well as the data link layer. So the physical layer will be having a cluster head, the child nodes and scenes. Data link layer, information, data and query. So the physical layer provides the services to the topmost the layer. The next layer is data link layer. Since to the services in the form of query, child nodes will provide the data, cluster head will provide the cost, cost especially. So data centric application focus on data generated by sensors. So instead of sending a query to sensor number 45, the query will be sent to the region itself. So each and every region will consist of sensor nodes. It's known as the global positioning system placed on sensor nodes. The idea of using GPS to easily locate sensors is very important when disseminating the data packet. So data aggregation, some sensor nodes are assigned to aggregate data received from their neighbors. So aggregator nodes can cache, process and filter the data to more meaningful information, and the reason to the includes dissemination. So problems with the dissemination: when intermediate nodes fail to forward incoming messages, the routing protocol should find the shortest path. Redundancy: a sensor may receive the same data packet more than once. In sensor networks, two scenarios for data dissemination exist: query driven and continuous update. So query driven. So now use this one-to-one relation, that is the sync broadcast a query and in turn receives from the sensor node one report in response to this query. Continuous update, a one-to-many relation. The sync node broadcasts a query, receives continuous updates for this query. The continuously updated data dissemination scenario has a high rate of energy depletion. So, but its data is more reliable and accurate than the questions are how to explain in detail what are the challenges in wireless sensor network. Then wireless sensor network, I have to explain detail about sensor network architecture. Thank you. So the possible